how the clean waste and transport is safe. I,
So I mean, can you make her?
well, I think it will.
So
I still
The whole screen.
trust them. I don't. No.
big sister is watching us.
Yeah,
Hello, Darlene.
Hi, I'm here.
I
Nice
see
to
you're
see you
coming
guys.
to live it up in Ignace with us, eh?
I don't know.
You should come. It'd be fun. You can meet all the mayors and councilors from around the area.
Yeah, when is that on Thursday?
Uh, Thursday night is like the opening social, but it's Friday today.
Oh, Friday.
Yeah, Friday's the
Oh,
big day.
yeah, I'd have to see. I don't know how I get down there, but
We can give you a
transportation.
ride back. Like I can give you a ride back from Ignace on Saturday. I think it ends Saturday at
Oh,
11 or 12.
Knew that, yeah.
Right there too.
yeah. I'll see if I can make it down Friday.
Okay.
Have you got a hotel room?
Pardon?
You have a hotel room?
Yeah, I came down for a meeting with
Oh.
Nan Women.
I mean, in Ignace.
Oh, I had a hotel room, but they canceled it
Oh,
because I wasn't gonna come, so I
All
don't
right.
know.
All
I
right,
don't know
Council.
how I'm getting there.
we'll look after you.
Yeah, thanks, Council. Good.
Yeah.
We're live streaming now, so
Okay.
will call the meeting to order at 5:31 PM. This is February 18th, regular council meeting. Just briefly at the beginning of the meeting, I note that we did through the federal government's request, we flew our flag at half-mast this week for the tragedy in Tumbler Ridge, which as I watched the news unfold, I thought, my goodness, a small town like us, they're about half the size of us, how something so devastating can happen so quickly. And I watched as the mayor was facing this on, dealing with this with all the other leaders and on national TV. And I thought that, heaven forbid it's our town, but I sent a letter of condolence to the mayor on behalf of the council, municipality, and the people of Silicon. And I just ask us to take a brief moment of silence in honor of the dead and suffering. Thank you. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
few mayor ones, I have none.
Thank you. A motion that the agenda for the regular council meeting of February 18th, 2026 be approved as presented. Moved by Councilor Costco, seconded by Councilor Cassidy. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Declarations of pecuniary interest.
Through Mayor Lawrence, we do have one for closed session. Councilor Van Breda will be declaring interest in an item in closed session. We'll provide the particulars in closed session.
Okay, thank you. And we have motions to adopt the January 21st, 2026 regular council meeting and January 27th, 2026 special council meeting be approved as presented. Moved by Councilor Costco, seconded by Councilor Cassidy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. And a motion that the minutes of the August 22nd, 2025 Silicon Committee of Adjustment and Consent Granting Authority and the December 9th, 2025 Municipal Truth and Reconciliation Committee and the January 8th, 2026 Environment Committee meeting be received. Moved by Councilor Lego, seconded by Councilor Cassidy. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Termination of items requiring separate discussion. 7.1, the 2026 Community Choice Project implementation. Councilor Cassidy. 7.2, Community Safety and Wellbeing Intern NOHFC Funding Agreement. Simpson and Costco. 7.3, Environment Committee Annual Work Plan. Costco. 7.4 Hillcrest Land Sale and Transfer. 7.5 Bell Mobility's 20-meter self-support communication tower, Highway 72. Councilor Van Breda. 2026 budget adoption and tax rate approval. Uh, 7.7 dedicated gas tax for public transportation. 7.8 2026 water and sanitary sewer rates. Councilor Timpson. 7.9 water and wastewater financial plan renewal. 7.10 sector-based housing needs assessment contract award. So we have lifted all the items on the agenda tonight. The next item on the agenda. Adoption of items not required except for discussion is done. Ready to staff reports then? The council approves the implementation of waterfront programming as the 2026 Community Choice Project. Moved by Sir Cassidy, seconded by Councilor Timpson. I'll start the discussion with Councilor.
Mayor Lawrence, I guess the only question I have for this is I do think it's a good initiative and I think it's something that's worthwhile in the community. Staff have any discussions about like if this is well received and well supported about continuing it outside of the special funding plot?
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, we did not speak to anyone about continuing this initiative because we agreed that this was a one-time pilot that would come back to council after the program has been adopted to see whether or not council would like to repeat or renew the program.
Still be coming back. That's good.
Councilor Costa.
No, just so that people know, so this is this also including the staffing, like for the swimming lessons, or is it just the structure of this facility?
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, there is no structure or facility. Most of the costs are labor for the swimming instruction. And there's just a few small expenses like insurance and the defibrillator, rescue paddleboard, rescue tubes, a small floating dock, those kinds of small items. The majority of the funding would go towards the labor for the couple of months.
Any further, Council? Councilor Timpson.
Yes, just remember, remember the enthusiasm of the public for this when we're talking about a swimming pool. And I think it's going to be interesting to take a lot of good stats on this one. Just had to get that in.
I just think
Councilor Costa.
so will the swimming lessons, will we be charging for those, or will they be, since we've had the grant, will they be just free? Like, how will that work?
You, Mayor Lawrence, the swimming lessons will be low cost, but I do believe there will be a fee and they will still be pre-registered as well.
Any further, Council? I'll call the motion. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Item 7.2. The council authorizes the passing of bylaw number 11-26, being a bylaw to authorize and direct the mayor and the clerk to execute an agreement between the Corporation for Municipality of Sioux and the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation and OHFC to employ a community safety and well-being intern. Moved by Councilor Timpson, seconded by Councilor Cassidy. Discussion, Councilor Timpson.
And that wasn't me. I think it was Joel.
Councilor Costa.
Just a procedural question. Haven't we already hired this position?
Through Mayor Lawrence, yes, the position has been hired. We had received information that the grant was approved and we were given the go-ahead. It took the funder longer to get us the agreement than the approval letter, so.
I just add to that as well that NOHFC requires that a start date be on the agreement before we can finalize it as well.
Very good. Anything further? All in favor? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this was environment work plan.
No,
Ask you about that?
no,
No,
this is a community safety well-being intern.
7.2.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got the wrong one, yeah. Oh, I had a question for that as well. Yeah, sorry, I thought we were on number 3. Yeah, will this person be working with those community workers that we discussed with the policing savings money?
Probably premature. I don't think the plan is in place. I'll let the CIO answer that, but
Through Mayor Lawrence, yes. So there will be synergies between these positions, and there will be opportunities for them to work together on certain initiatives. But we are still in the process of developing the full program, respecting the community navigators, and so we're still fleshing out the details.
And to who will the navigators be accountable to?
They will
Owner?
yes, they will be employees of the municipality. Yeah.
anything further on 7.2? All in favor? Carried, thank you. 7.3, the council approves the municipality of Sioux Environment Committee's 2026 work plan as attached, submitted for council's consideration in compliance with bylaw number 79-15, being a bylaw to establish terms of reference for council created committees. Moved by Councillor Dago, seconded by Councillor Cassidy. Discussion, Councillor Clausen.
I don't really have any issues with the work plan. I think it's great. I just, you know, being on a couple of committees, just interested in committees as a whole. Like, did this committee spend all of their money last year?
I think so.
Yeah, you did? Yeah,
I
and
think
did
so,
you,
but
did you
it-
find that the money was adequate, or did you find that it limited what you can do?
For what we do, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always use more money, but for the things we did, we thought we
I don't-
did more pickers for garbage and
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't think we used up the entire 2,500. I remember we used some we're getting new signs. Actually, we have a member here too in the audience.
Mhm.
Signs, the pickers. And I think we did some for the adopted law. Yeah, in the garden too, for the new wood. But I don't think we used up the entire 2,500.
No, through Mayor Lawrence, we used about 15 to 1,600 of it, of the 2,500.
And we did some work on the community garden, new wood. I think that was this year. Does that come out of this year's? Yeah.
Very good. Anything further on the Environment Committee annual work plan? All in favor? Thank you. 7.4, the council authorizing the passing of bylaw number 04-26, being a bylaw to authorize the mayor and the clerk to execute agreements and documents regarding the sale of hereinafter described land by the corporation of the municipality of Sioux to Opus 69 Limited, DBA Woodmere Developments, and further, the council authorizes the passing of bylaw number 05-26, being a bylaw to authorize the conveyance of certain hereinafter described land by the corporation of the municipality of Sioux to Opus 69 Limited, DBA Woodmere Developments. Moved by Councillor Timpson, seconded by Councillor Van Breda. Discussion, Councillor Costo.
I just thought this was a valuable opportunity just to say to the staff, thanks for all the hard work you've done on selling these lots. We've been really impressed with how well they've been selling, and just an opportunity maybe to update the public on where are we at with how many lots have we officially sold and how many are we working on right now?
Through Mayor Lawrence, currently every lot is spoken for. We've only officially sold one, but have legal agreements in process for, in essence, the remaining lots, except for 2, which we will speak to tonight in the closed session.
Well, that really is great. And that's because of the hard work of our staff. I feel you guys have really done a great job on this. Very impressed.
Thank you. Anything further, council? All in favor? Carried. The council author 7.5. The council authorizes and directs the chief administrative officer to provide a letter of concurrence on behalf of council as requested by Fontour International Incorporated on behalf of Bell Mobility for the installation of a 20-meter self-supported wireless telecommunication tower to be located at 237 Highway 72, Sioux. Mover, Councillor Lego, seconded by Councillor Cassidy. Start the discussion, Councillor Van Breda.
Thank you. My quick question is that, so we have 5G for Rogers, but not 5G for Bell. In the cover letter, it mentions that they're building this to enhance the communication capabilities of the frontline workers in the immediate and surrounding areas. So is this bringing Bell 5G to the area?
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, I'm not sure. You'd have to ask about that.
Councillor Cassidy.
No, it's to support the, it'll be to support like the fire rangers walkie, like their radio networks. That's what the PSRN is.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's that network and ties into the first responder stuff. So yeah,
I was hoping it would be 5G.
not cell phones.
Wait a little bit longer.
Thank you for that information, Councillor Cassidy. Councillor Timpson.
It's just a question. I don't know exactly where 237 is, but I do know that down Abram Lake, that people have complained about lights flashing on one of the towers that is visible to them. Will there be lights flashing on this tower? Or I don't know what a Bell Mobility looks like.
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, so it's located at the M&R Fire Base there.
Okay.
And yeah, there would be lights, just, I think it's a requirement of whatever legislation permits these towers.
Well, is it visible to the people in the neighborhood? That's my question.
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, that's hard to determine.
I wonder if there should be some more investigation of that because it is an issue on Abram Lake Road.
Councillor Cassidy.
Yeah, I assume the tower would be about as visible as all the helicopters flying in and out of there every day. So
But visibility to the public or to the neighbors, that's my issue. Is it like flashing light or is it the little red lights or what? What's it look like?
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, I'm not 100% sure. I would imagine it would be similar to existing towers in town.
So this came to the town as a part of their support process. Is there, I don't want to use the term EA, but I'll use the term EA where is there a process for things like this? And is the process being followed?
Yeah, I'll have.
Through Mayor Lawrence, yes. There is a process. It's similar in some respects to the planning process whereby abutting property owners within 120 meters of the subject property are notified, circulated and notified. There's a comment period that went from December 19th, 2025 to January 19th, 2026. No comments were received by Bell. Yes, they have gone through the process that's prescribed to them by their regulators.
So it's my point being that there is a process and Bell's following it, and it includes reaching out to the public just as our sense. So
Yeah, the issue problem with that is that, if I received something like that, I wouldn't know what it's going to look like when it gets there. And I think that's probably what happened with Abram Lake people. They wouldn't know that they were going to be invaded by this light. So I wouldn't bother answering it. So.
see,
Female Lawrence. So I think that in this instance, so lighting, those types of things would be regulated. So even essentially the decision before council is whether or not we want to facilitate the expansion of the fire response radio system. If we do, then we should support this resolution. If we don't, then we shouldn't. Or council may not wish to support it if they don't wish to support that expansion. Given the benefits of greater reliability and usability of the system for forest fire management, I would recommend that council consider approving it. I do understand that with development, there can be some unanticipated side effects, and sometimes light pollution can be one of those. However, given the location of this one in particular, it's unlikely to have any direct results. the fire management base is quite large. There's no abutting properties in the immediate vicinity. So I would think that any light pollution, if I can use that term, would be minimal.
From the map, it looked like it was going to be relatively centrally located in the lot. Is that correct? In the fire itself, okay. Councilor Van Breda, you had a,
Yeah, I'll just say, there is a tower diagram in the attachments. I think it looks the same as any other cell phone tower.
any further comments, Councilor Gibson?
I would like to just delay it and clarify this with Bell or M&R. Just to be sure, because, I mean, this could be quite an inconvenience to people out there who are, paying fairly large taxes to live by the lake, etc. So I would like to see it just clarified more, that particular issue.
Councilor Prescott?
I live by the lake and from my dock, I can probably see 3-4 towers and I can see the lights and I don't think it really interferes with my enjoyment during my life. So I think that this tower is a safety thing to save young men's lives and women who are working in fire protection, which is a very highly dangerous job, and anything that we can do to assist them to make sure that their lives are safe, I think that we should be doing.
Well, but it's not ditching the project. It's just saying, clarify that it's not going to be an inconvenience to people who are there. Simple as that.
Councilor Lennon?
I think they're just asking for a letter of support. I think this is going ahead either way.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a courtesy on their part to reach out to the municipality to ask for a letter of support, which I support. So
I'll tell you what, councillors, I'll put it to the vote and see if more people want to delay, they'll vote not in favor of this resolution right now. So all in favor? Carried. Item 7.6. The council authorizes the passing of bylaw number 07-26, being a bylaw to adopt the estimates of all sums required for all municipal purposes during the year 2026 and to authorize the levy and collection of taxes for all the municipal purposes in the municipality of Sioux for the 2026 fiscal year. And further, the council authorizes the passing of bylaw number 08-26, being a bylaw to set tax ratios for prescribed property classes for municipal purposes for the year 2026. I'm sorry. A mover, please. Many movers. Councilor Van Breda, seconded by Councilor Costa. Discussion. Councilor Costa.
I think this is a good budget. I just have 3 questions. What was the follow-up on the Lake Shore situation, Lake Shore Drive?
Through you, Mayor Lawrence. So that project was contingent on receiving funding and we didn't receive it. So that's why that didn't move forward at that time. Staff will re-examine that and look at, if council wishes, other options and other funding options, and report back later this year if there's a desire for that.
Yeah, because that road was damaged from the flood situation and never returned to normal because they believed that funding was coming. So it's sort of in limbo. So that project's in limbo. So somewhere along the line, we have to pick that up and make sure that project is completed to
Yes,
to an acceptable standard.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of what we need to figure out is what that standard's going to be. And, I mean, the reality is right now that stretch of road is essentially 1 lane.
But sorry, if I may, I traveled that road more than once a day. It was damaged during the flood, but my perception is it's in better shape now than it was prior to the flood. Having driven it back and forth, I know you're shaking your head, you have, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that can be considered.
Absolutely.
With respect to that road. So staff will dig into it further and we'll come back to the report later this year with some options.
Okay, so my other question was, a member of the public did approach me just yesterday and they asked the question if they couldn't find the mat tax in the budget. they did figure it out under other revenue where it was, they surmised.
Mhm.
But wouldn't it be easy if we could just put in brackets municipal accommodation tax beside that funding?
Well, through you, Mary Lawrence, when looking at the budget and the section that it pertains to, it's lumped with a whole bunch of other revenues. And such, if council wishes for that to be broken out separately, we can certainly do that. But, it's broken out within, corporate services because it falls under the whole corporation.
I think it would be a benefit for the public because there is a lot of confusion around the MAT tax. And the MAT tax is doing a lot of good work in the community. And I really want people to recognize that. So I think it would be to our benefit just to have a line right under other, whatever other revenue,
Yeah.
municipal accommodation tax, and that half is our portion, half is the Chamber of Commerce, right?
Yeah, so through you, Mary Lawrence, we are looking at launching this year the website. I've started collecting data and information for that, so that will 100% go forward this year to show our items as well as a separate site specifically for the committee.
And my third thing was just that all of the budgets forever, I really would like to see a lot of road work. I'd like us to get to a point where we're not just accepting that our roads are not good. At some point, we have to balance out where we always have good roads, our roads, are in a good condition and we can drive on them and they're safe. So I really, would like in the future that we're putting more money into our roads until we get them to an acceptable standard.
Councillor Layton.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was covered in our 10-year
Yeah.
asset management plan that they labeled the roads that needed the work the most. And so, but you're right.
Councillor Kennison.
Just following up, is there any do we get any feedback from the public?
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, the municipality, we never received any sort of feedback at all from the public,
Okay.
at all.
Councillor Van Grade.
My question is just that, can this be a recorded vote, Brian, again, like same as last year's?
Any further comments, Council? Then, as it's a recorded vote, I'll turn it over to you, Sioux.
Through Mayor Lawrence, thank you. So let me get my notes here. Okay, assuming we're ready for the vote.
I believe we are. Last comments and received.
Okay, great, thank you. If members can respond either for or against, and this is to adopt the budget and to set the tax ratios. And we will just start and work our way around. So Councillor Costco.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Timpson.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Van Breda.
For.
Thank you. Councillor Anshkinep.
Yeah, 4.
Thank you. Councillor Cassidy. 4. Thank you. Councillor Lego.
4.
Thank you. And Mayor Lawrence.
4.
Mayor Lawrence, that is 7 in favor. The vote carries.
The motion is carried. Thank you very much. Thanks, staff. Item 7.7. The council authorizes the passing of bylaw number 09-26 and bylaw number 10-26, both being bylaws to authorize the mayor and the clerk to enter into and execute the municipal funding agreements for the transfer of dedicated gas tax funds for public transportation programs between the corporation of the municipality of Sioux and His Majesty the King in Right of Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Transportation for the province of Ontario. Moved by Councillor Costco, seconded by Councillor Lego. Discussion starting with Councillor Costco.
No, this is not new. This is a regular thing that we get every year. Now, are we paying for the hub out of this?
Yes, through you, Mayor Lawrence. Yes, that is correct. We have that 50,000 in the budget this year. We can pull from last year as well, which will be placed in last year's revenue.
So, but was there different funding that they're paying for the hub with before?
Yeah, so through you, Mayor Lawrence, we had actually 3 different types of funding modules going on. We have the gas tax, which is a large agreement that we have with MTO, or Ministry of Transportation at the current moment, that takes us until 2030, I believe, where we receive a certain percentage based on our ridership. We're automatically guaranteed the 50,000 every year, but it could go up if our ridership goes up. Then we had the long-term transportation, which was applied back with Vicki Blanchard and other staff. That included any sort of extension for long transportation, like whether or not we went to Lac Seul and back. That we tried a couple of times, however, it didn't occur. And then we had the enhancements of our local transit system. So us being able to purchase another bus, it allowed us to have more enhancements and items such as those. Those last 2 fundings is what is now have been completed. The funding is now done.
Further comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. Item 7.8, the council authorizes the passing of bylaw number 06-26, being a bylaw to establish the water and wastewater service rates and charges for the production, treatment, storage, and distribution of water and or wastewater in the municipality of Sioux, and to repeal bylaw number 29-24. Moved by Councilor Nago, seconded by Councilor Costco. And discussion starting with Councilor Timpson.
I admit I didn't fully understand this report. I think sometimes you need to be an engineer to get some of this stuff, but anyway, I'm not sure it's a good idea to not raise the rates a little bit, given that it could ease the rate later on, the rate rise later on. And I also have a question. I understand, I believe that these rates have been approved already, but there's a big jump between the $94.53, which is the minimal amount, to $247.55 per. Would it not make sense to, have a few more categories in terms of the usage and the rate people are paying? And the other question, of course, is about whether we should have a small increase anyways to make it less dramatic next year.
So through you, Mayor Lawrence, to start with question number 2. The reason for the delay is when we originally put this analysis in place as part of our forecast and stuff, we originally thought that the sewage treatment plant expansion was going to cost the municipality $8.5 million. And that was taken into consideration in regards to this increase extension. So with that also, because we don't have to worry about, as of right now, fronting out $8.5 million towards that project, we want to place this year on hold and reevaluate our projects and put together our cost analysis, update it. Now that we have the funding in place, now that we have other funding in places for other streams as well, because it's going to shift how the rates are needed. So I don't want to have such a large increase on customers right now in case it's not needed. So I'd rather come back with a really full analysis and explain the justification and everything behind it, with knowing we've got extra funding coming down for us.
So on page 5, 2.1, so these charges would then change based on the 8 million.
So
Would it-
The charges that are in the bylaw right now are our current rates, and we're requesting for those rates not to increase.
They will increase in 2027.
Another report will have to come to council for approval for whatever those rate increases would be.
So this, okay,
We're requesting not to increase the rates
for this year, yes,
for this year, yes.
okay. Okay, fair enough.
Councillor Van Breda.
Okay, thank you. So then for 2.2.4, for the Hudson water treatment plant fee, when would that be paid off? Was that this year or next year?
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, I don't have the loan in front of me, so I'm not entirely sure. It comes off once the loan is paid off in full.
Just like automatically?
Yeah, it will come off everybody's bill in Hudson, yes.
Okay.
Councillor Cassidy.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for your attention to this. It'd be probably pretty easy to just let the increase happen and move on, but being diligent and just respecting the costs, and I appreciate you guys doing this, and I think it's a reasonable approach considering the funding we got to just take a step back and assess things. So thanks.
Councillor Lego.
Yeah, I was just gonna reiterate the same thing. It's a prudent ask of council to just not put any more increases on the public at the moment. And now that we've received some funding, and to reassess everything and then come back at another time with a new report saying, well, maybe we don't have to, but we will see. So until we get that report, I just want to thank staff for bringing that and not asking to be raised this year and reassess things.
Thank you. Anything further, council? I'll just add, Councillor Timpson.
Yeah, just a question. So 2027, we'll receive something like this in 2027 then?
Yeah, so
Be-
through you, Mayor Lawrence, staff will need to bring a report back to council prior to the budget being presented, so that the new budget would include whatever that may look like.
Very good. I too was surprised when I read the report, and it said, the discussion is going in the opposite direction here. We're trying to push water upstream by staff recommending no increase and council fighting. Wasn't lied to. I was participating in an online webinar, but it wasn't a webinar. It was actually a discussion. One of the speakers said that was talking about about federal governments, provincial governments, and how they change every year. There's new things coming, and it's different. Whereas municipal governments do the same thing every year, plus 1.5%. This puts a lie to that. We're doing the same thing, providing clean water, which I did my mental math on, and we get 1/3 of a cent per liter is what it costs for our clean drinking water, and then they also take it away and treat the wastewater. That's what we do for 1/3 of a cent per liter. So for all of those who buy bottled water, this is clean water. It's among the cleanest treated water on the planet at 1/3 of a cent per bottle, and we'll dispose of your waste with that too. So it's a good deal. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Water and wastewater financial plan renewal. The council approves the renewal of the water and wastewater financial plan 2021 to 2031 as per the Safe Drinking Water Act 2001. Moved by Councillor Van Breda, seconded by Councillor Cassidy. Start the discussion, Councillor Costello.
I just wanted to bring up the point again, when we're talking about wastewater, that we're always mindful of our camping wastewater, because right now we aren't providing any services in that. So just in the opportunity I have to mention that, I'm gonna keep mentioning it until we solve that problem.
Anything further, council?
I think that
Oh, sorry, CIO.
Through Mayor Lawrence, Councillor Costco, you'll be really happy to hear that we are working on a plan to address that. It's not quite ready to bring to council, but we've been putting our minds together and have come up with a couple of options that that could serve the community really well. So I'm looking forward to bringing that forward to council in the next few months. Thank you.
Very good. Anything further, council? Then all in favor? Carried. Thank you. 7.10, sector-based housing needs assessment. The council awards a sector-based housing needs assessment to Urban Systems for $97,700 and directs staff to execute the agreement. Moved by Councillor Cassidy, seconded by Councillor Nago, and start the discussion with Councillor Costo.
I just wanted to talk about when we do these studies, is there any mechanism for us to see and the public to see what the progress of the study has happened? Like, do we have where, let's say we do this study, and is there any mechanism that people of the public will be able to see that we resulted in attracting 2 developers and we built 700 extra houses? Like, what mechanism is there to see the results of these studies? Because we're doing a lot of studies, but I myself don't know where to find the results. So how do the members of the public find them?
Mayor Lawrence, our community compass is a great place to track the progress of all of our projects and related performance measures. And there is a affordable housing strategy project that is linked to the strategic plan. So you can specifically look at all of the actions related to affordable housing, as well as new housing developments and new initiatives that result from the actions that we undertake as part of that strategy. And then this project would be connected to that housing strategy as well. And if council views the reports that you receive that include performance measures as well as progress updates, and there is a different tracking mechanism that you would like staff to pursue, we can look into that and add additional performance measures as well. And that is always available on our website under the Community Compass.
Just for the public, are all of these studies also on our website?
Jen, go ahead.
Mayor Lawrence, there is a reports and studies section under Town Hall on our website where you can see most of our past studies. As long as those studies are public, there may be some older studies that are outdated, that are maybe, 10 years old at this point, that may not be listed on the website any longer, but there are a number of studies on our website.
Van Breda.
I was wondering if you could talk more about this project where explore the feasibility of the development of like owned properties in Hudson, right? Town-owned properties, and how that could help to revitalize the downtown core. I'm just thinking that the only town-owned property in Hudson would be the fire hall in the hall.
Through you, Mayor Lawrence, we would be looking at our properties. Boat Bay would probably be the property that we would be looking at for residential development in Hudson through this project. So we'd be looking at vacant land for large residential development. So essentially what this project will do is to convene some of the major stakeholders involved in the community, particularly our major employers, to look at what type of housing is predominantly needed by the roles that they're trying to fill. So sometimes we don't have data on the people who were unable to move to Sioux Lookout, and we may need more qualitative information to understand what types of housing are in most demand, as well as our local realtors to understand what types of housing people are looking for that they're unable to find, and then to create some concepts for municipally owned land that developers could kind of take and run with, that gives them some preliminary costing information to understand what would that look like? Would this be a viable project? And, how could we create a mix of housing types that might be attractive? And using one of our properties in Hudson would be something that we'll be bringing forward to explore the feasibility of and developing a feasible concept so that we can hopefully help to create some more interest in those properties.
Councilor Van Breda.
Question, do you think that we'll be able to get CMHC federal housing funding through this? Just because every time we've applied, we haven't been able to get it. Do you think maybe this could be not the key, but be a part of the key to help us get that federal funding?
Through Mayor Lawrence, it's kind of a difficult question to answer because CMHC has many different streams available. So if we're talking about the Housing Accelerator Fund, at this time, there has been no announcement that there is any intention to offer another stream under the Housing Accelerator Fund. So I can't really speak to whether or not this would increase our chance of success under that program. There are several funding streams available, however, to private developers, and certainly this study would help them to be able to access that fund. So if a private developer were able to then pull this study to say, here we have documentation that this type of housing is in demand, and this concept received positive public feedback, and this is what I want to develop, then that will help them to secure capital, whether that's from a bank or from a funder.
Okay.
Yeah, I think on that point, I think that we're coming into a few years where money is going to be tight from the federal and provincial governments for various reasons, including if we're going to up our defense spending to 5%, that money is going to come from somewhere and come from other programs, probably, or freezes in other programs. So when programs do become available for building a stronger Canada or building a stronger Ontario, as they put out as their main policies, those municipalities that are better prepared are going to have a better chance of accessing this funding. And I think that this type of study will put us in a better position when we apply for whatever funding becomes available. And I'm also very interested in becoming informed on the needs. Where are the needs? Everybody, we need more housing. We need more housing. But what kind of housing do we need, and what's it based on? I think this is going to be very informative. Yes.
Through Mayor Lawrence, I just forgot to add that if another intake were to come of the Housing Accelerator Fund, it is actually a requirement of that program to have an up-to-date housing needs assessment. So we wouldn't be able to apply if we didn't have an up-to-date housing needs assessment.
Very good. Any further questions? Then all in favor? Carried. Thank you. That brings us to the end of items recording executive discussion and to bylaws. Too bad tonight, is it? It's another page there. How are you doing, CIO? Please go ahead, Court. Your role is the, thank you.
Through Mayor Lawrence, simple. The following bylaws are being presented to council for 3 readings and passing. Bylaw number 04-26, being a bylaw to authorize the mayor and the clerk to execute agreements and documents regarding the sale of the hereinafter described land by the corporation of the municipality of Sioux to Opus 69 Limited DBA Woodmere Developments. Bylaw number 05-26, being a bylaw to authorize the conveyance of certain hereinafter described land by the corporation of the municipality of Sioux to Opus 69 Limited DBA Woodmere Developments. Bylaw number 06-26, being a bylaw to establish the water and wastewater service rates and charges for the production, treatment, storage, distribution of water and or wastewater in the municipality of Sioux, and to repeal bylaw number 29-34. Bylaw number 07-26, being a bylaw to adopt being a bylaw to adopt the estimates of all sums required for all municipal purposes during the year 2026. And to authorize the levy and collection of taxes for all municipal purposes in the municipality for the 2026 fiscal year. Bylaw number 08-26, being a bylaw to set the tax ratios for prescribed property classes for municipal purposes for the year 2026. I'm going to have a chat, Madam Treasurer, about your alliteration in your bylaws. Bylaw number 09-26, being a bylaw to authorize the mayor and the clerk to enter into and execute the municipal funding agreement for the transfer of dedicated gas tax funds for public transportation program between the corporation of the municipality of Sioux and His Majesty the King and Right of Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Transportation for the province of Ontario for 24 and 25. Bylaw number 10-26, being a bylaw to authorize the mayor and the clerk to enter into and execute the municipal funding agreement for the transfer of dedicated tax funds for public transportation program between the corporation and municipality of Sioux and His Majesty the King and Right of Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Transportation for the province of Ontario for the 25-26 year. And bylaw number 11-26, being a bylaw to authorize and direct the mayor and the clerk to execute an agreement between the corporation of the municipality of Sioux and the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation, project manager 740-03234 to employ a community safety and well-being intern.
Yeah, the bylaws number 04-26, 05-26, 06-26, 07-26, 08-26, 09-26, and 10-26, and 11-26 be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Moved by Councillor Lay, seconded by Councillor Cassidy. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. We have one outside resolution. Call on the province of Ontario to establish an Ontario Airport Capital Assistance Program. Whereas the Sioux Airport serves the municipality of Sioux, the district of Kenora, and the First Nation communities of Treaties 3 and Treaty 9. And whereas the municipality of Sioux municipal airport plays a vital role in supporting medevac flights, wildfire response operations, business travel, tourism, and the movement of essential goods for the entire region. And whereas other provinces, including British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, have recognized the importance of regional airports by establishing dedicated provincial funding programs, and Ontario currently does not. And whereas maintaining aging airport infrastructure has become increasingly difficult without predictable provincial support, and whereas regional airports serve broader provincial and regional interests, and municipalities cannot shoulder the financial burden alone. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of Sioux hereby calls upon the Province of Ontario to 1. Establish an Ontario Airport Capital Assistance Program to provide dedicated annual funding for small and regional airports, and 2. Ensure eligibility for a broad range of capital projects, including safety upgrades, equipment replacement, and runway maintenance, and 3. Engage municipalities in program design, ensuring local needs and realities are reflected in funding criteria, and 4. Recognize the essential role of airports in medevac and emergency services, especially in remote and northern communities. That a copy of this resolution be circulated to the Airport Management Council of Ontario, AMCO. Moved by Councillor Costco, seconded by Councillor Van Breda. Discussion? May I just suggest two friendly amendments? The first is that we include Treaty 5 in the those two treaties, as we also serve part of Treaty 5. And the second, I'll have to find it. Yes, it was probably in the last point, to make it, I think, have more palatability with the province. If we mentioned, recognize the essential role of airports in medevac, emergency services, and resource development projects. We're going to be quite a hub for mining flights. I'm thinking about the mine, especially south of Cat Lake, and initial construction. I think it might make it more appealing to the province if we added mining. You can determine the exact wording of that, but I think the industry said it, so that's okay with council? And all in favor? Carried, thank you. Council reports. I'll start on screen. Councillor Andrican. Is that being fair? I'll get you. Are you ready? Yeah. With technology. I can give you. There you go. Yeah. You're
Okay. All right. For I guess we had the Ontario Police Services Board Zone 1 meeting. There was a budget review, upcoming meetings, and they talked about trainings. So there was an optional meeting, but I attended. Then on February the 2nd, welcome Dr. Zhu Chi, or Kevin, he called himself, at the Northern Clinic. And then on February the 4th, there was a TRC meeting, and it was to discuss the upcoming event in April, which is what was called the gala, and now it's called something else. It's called a gathering, like a TRC gathering, and Joan and I have been working on some of the planning and working together to go and review the Seven Generations kitchen and the discussion of the menu. And she's also been ordering items for the event that night to honor the Truth and Reconciliation award winners for that night. This was in April 25th, I think. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Anshkadam. Councillor Costa.
I attended the one TRC meeting remotely, and I attended the Committee of Adjustment in person. I also attended the TRC Circle that Darlene was talking about, and we changed the name of our gala to the TRC Recognition Gathering. And we've been, Darlene and I have been working with the committee, and Darlene did pick the menu. The menu sounds good. We're excited about it. This event is going to be an open event to the public. There's no charge. We're hoping, that people will come and support people who have win awards for doing great work with Truth and Reconciliation. It seems to be coming together nicely. We've had a lot of community support, which is wonderful. And we're building our partners right now and then moving on to the next steps. I've had a couple of calls with Brian on the logistics of all of this, just making sure we're not going rogue on him. And I've had several meetings in town regarding the TRC gathering. I've met with a lot of agencies, some business people. And we're continuing those meetings, trying to get, the information out there and get as much support as we can get. I still have to set up my museum cabinet. With my injury, my ribs, I've been set back a little bit, but I'm hoping to get that done this month. And this month will be busy around the TRC gathering.
Very good. Thank you, Councillor.
Where will it be?
The TRC gathering is at the Seven Gens building on 15 Fair Street.
Oh,
In the gym.
okay.
Councillor Timpson.
Yeah. A couple of really interesting things this month for me. First of all, we had the Kenora District Municipal Association, which I'm a member, had an advocacy meeting with policymakers from immigration. And we presented, I think, very robustly the need to preserve our ability here to hire people, immigrants at entry level basis for our businesses. And we stressed the fact that, a lot of businesses are going to close if they cannot hire people. And secondly, that without, say, Tim Hortons or Subway, etc., we're not going to be able to attract teachers, doctors, anybody else moving here. They are a necessity for this. So we have launched that, and I'm sure it will be discussed this week at the KDMA annual meeting that I'll be going to tomorrow. Hospital board meeting. As you know, the MRI is at least the outward part is here. It's quite big, actually, if anybody saw it. Yeah. So that should be up and running by the summer. So we will no longer have our all expense trip to Thunder Bay paid for now that we have it here, but it will be a boon to the community and to the north and to Dryden, who will likely, and Ignace and Vermilion Bay, they will very likely come here. The physician recruiting, thank you to Darlene for doing one meeting for me when I wasn't able to. And we have good news on the physician recruiting for the town. There are a couple of new physicians signing on for 3 years. So, and the locum issue is, or the attraction of locum is very good. We're having people that are coming back so that there's that continuity. And that's through the efforts of the Hugh Allen Clinic. I can't say that my greetings with the physicians or Darlene's had anything to do with it because most of those folks are going up north. But we have a stress that we've got to have doctors here at Sioux Lookout or we're not going to have people who want to go up north. Simple. And they finally the Environment Committee meeting. And one of our newer members was set up a meeting with the high school, which I attended today with the chair, George Hogarth, and talking with the high school principal and vice principals, how we can work with the students and how the students can work with the Environment Committee and in promoting environmental stewardship with them. And that was a very, very positive meeting. And we're hoping we will get some of the students interested in this coming to Environment Committee meetings. I believe they have to be 18 to be a member of the meeting, or a member of the committee, but they can come to meetings. So that was my month. That's
Thank you.
a good news month, I think.
Sounds good. Councilor Van Breda.
Thank you. It's a pretty short month. So I attended the environment committee, also attended a special council meeting on the 27th. And Fire Chief Funk is not here, but I do want to give a shout out to our local fire team, just because on the night of Wednesday, February 4th, when I went to take out my blue bin, I noticed that there's a fire on the Hudson Lake shore. So I ran down and I called 911 and I noticed that there was a bush plane engulfed in flames. And within minutes, Laxville Police and the one Hudson firefighter showed up, followed very quickly by the OPP and the Sioux Lookout fire team. And I was really impressed and I was really happy that how well the team worked together, how well they seemed trained to deal with a bush plane fire, and all went good. There was no damage spread to any other planes or any other buildings. It was a localized fire. It was good timing too, because on the Monday and Tuesday, I was actually in first aid. So it was a good practice and I was able to actually use my, I should say skills, but use what I've learned to use a fire extinguisher. Because obviously when you're in class, that's one thing, but when you're actually using it in practice, when you're kind of panicking, but I remember Chief Funk told me to lift it upside down, give it a good pat, and then do the pass. So pull, aim, spray, and sweep. So nice to know that when you take first aid, it actually works in real life. Yeah.
Thank you. An exciting month. Councilor Cassidy.
Yeah, for myself, nothing too out of the ordinary. Pace and hydro board, a few more hydro boards, just supporting our new CEO in his role, which seems to be going quite well. So it's good.
Who is that? I did know you'd found somebody.
Anthony Zarecki.
Oh, okay.
Councilor Layton.
Yeah, attended the January 29th or 27th special council meeting for the budget. And the next night we had the Committee of Adjustments meeting. So attended that. And then on the 10th of February, I attended the LCC meeting. Some basic stuff. That was my month.
Very good. I had strategic planning with both Northwestern Health Unit and Kenora District Services Board is underway. So been participating in that. Like I think everybody here, we have the special council meeting for the budget and we'll pass the budget tonight. Various interviews from various media sources are the funding announcement of $16 million for the sewage, water and wastewater plant really got some interest. And I've had other people ask me about that, and as it should. I think it's the biggest single funding program I've seen in my time here. So that got the media attention. Another one was Mrs. Bastoni's 100th birthday, which was very nice to attend. 100 years. So that would make it 1926. That's a long time ago, once it happened. An update meeting with First Gold with Jen, which was interesting. That project seems to be, if I can say, proceeding, getting excited. They're looking at their final feasibility study this year, starting construction next year. They say and this south of Cat Lake, north of Sioux, and maybe our road connection. One of the things the Cat Lake would like is a connection, a road connection to join up to the, I suppose, eventually the road that goes to Slate Falls. Tie in, I think it's through Slate Falls, but tie in and then be connected to Sioux. 650 people during construction, 350 people during operation. And the price of gold sold now is about just under $5,000 per ounce. And I heard some analysis saying it was going to be going up. That mine was viable to, I think, at 3,000 or 2,500 when they did the analysis a few years ago. So I think that's going ahead, and there will be positive impacts for Silicate. Several meetings with the CAO, an Alpha Symposium, Association of Local Public Health Agencies symposium that I participated in, and various other discussions with local citizens, let's say. And that's the month that was. We now have a motion to move into closed session. The council moves into closed session at 6:35 PM to discuss matters of the general nature as noted below. Subject matter related to a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. One item, Hillcrest Development. Subject related to a position plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or by or on behalf of the municipality or local board. One item, Travel Information Center. And subject related to personal matters about identifiable individuals, including the municipal or local board employees pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, section 39 2B, two items, appointments to council boards, commissions and committees, and membership and CAO performance check. Moved by Councilor Timpson, seconded by Councilor Cassidy. All in favor? We are now in closed session.
Second.
And we'll just take a 2-minute break, shall we? 3-minute break. Come back in closed session.
Yeah.